All right, so this is Casey, and we're doing the inspection breakdown. So where do you want to start to go through every...
All right, guys. So basically, I start on the exterior.
Okay.
You have a couple little things on the exterior. One being on the west side of the garage.
Yeah, let's go take a look at what that is.
I just noted that you have some blistered plaster. It's from a sprinkler.
Oh, okay.
It's probably association maintained to begin with. But,
Okay.
You know, I want to point out because it's going to get worse. You know, so you got some blistering stucco top coat or plaster top coat on the west side of the garage there.
Okay, so if it's the association, they would need to
Yeah, they
contact
knock it
the
down and then
association.
they retouch it up with another skin coat.
I noticed there was... I mean,
And
you
then I
probably
noted
get to
this, you have some warp separating exterior glazing strips to the window. And this is from the heat, so the vinyl from the heat just shrinks and it starts crinkling up there. But technically that's what seals the frame and the glass, so I like to let you know that that's...
Now, how frequently is that happening? Is that happening on all the windows or just this one window here?
Just this one. And it's mostly, like I said, west facing that gets the most sun. But
And these three windows are the windows that go to the garage?
Correct.
So they're not even...
So the way I
really
worded it, I
here.
said north window on the west side of the garage.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What else do we have?
I just noted that you have missing screens to two windows. So you got the window in the dining room right here that's missing a screen. And then you have a window on the north side of the house, which is to the living room, that's missing the screen.
Okay, so you could get a new one made
Correct.
if you needed. All right. What about the cracking I've noticed?
That's regular California construction cracking. Anything that is big enough so you can fit like a nickel or a quarter into it, then it's a little bit too opened up, and then you'd need to patch it so that any moisture in the air doesn't get deteriorating behind the stucco.
So this is probably fine. It's also
regular,
probably HOA stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
and that's regular. You can't avoid that, especially with the smooth finish.
Okay.
You're gonna see the spider web cracking.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, I did that, and then also there is a window on the north side of the house to the upstairs bedroom.
Okay.
The screen has a bent frame, so when you open it, it's gonna let flies and stuff, and it's not completely.
Okay, so that should just be
a little bit of repair.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 4 has to do with the gas meter, which is on the east side of the building, so 3 units down. It's on the east side of the building.
Okay, so it's nowhere close to here.
No.
It's all the way on the other side.
And it's got some rusted plumbing on it, which is a free call to the gas company. When you turn on gas in your name or establish service in your name, they'll come and prime and paint it for you for free.
Okay.
Okay. But also, it can look like this too. This is a gas line to your pool spa heater right here. And see, it has rusted plumbing also.
Okay. And
That's kind of what that's similar.
Side.
Yeah. So same thing. You want to prime and paint it so that it doesn't continue to eat away the metal.
How is the pool equipment over here?
Pool equipment looks good. The only thing I noted with the pool equipment, there's some section of plumbing that's not painted. Okay, so they usually paint the plumbing so that the ultraviolet rays of the sun don't brittle out that PVC and crack it. So just needs a coat of paint to just make it look like this, so it'll last through the summer.
Saltwater cell, not a saltwater cell.
No.
Is there? Okay, so it's just regular system.
Yep.
Okay. And the filter looks like it's a relatively newer.
Yeah, everything looks good. Yeah,
Okay, everything's really good.
The only thing I noted with the pool and the spa equipment is they added a secondary control pad
Okay.
mounted on the spa surface. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a little control pad mounted on the spa surface, and that did not operate. Sometimes while you're sitting in the spa, you could turn on the lights from there, you could turn on the jets from there, and it did not operate.
Okay, and if it's not working, is that difficult to fix?
Well,
is it a wire thing or
that's
is it remote?
usually what it is because it's below the water line sometimes, so sometimes it shorts out. So usually they replace that with another sending wire.
Okay, and this, how about the surface? I mean, it looks like everything's in good
good
shape.
with the plaster. Yeah, there's no rust present, there's no open cracking, there's no chip surface. All that looks solid.
Did you test the lights too, and they're both going on?
Yep.
Okay, so both that's all fine.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's your automatic fill valve over there. That's working fine. So that little cover right there has a little float in it.
Okay, so that makes sure that it never.
Keeps your pool filled up.
Okay, and then you have all these
umbrella
holes. Okay. All right, where do we go next? And the fire pit is working fine.
Yeah, fire pit operates functionally. Yep.
And that was the turn-on valve over there on the far side.
Yep.
Right?
And then you use one of these lighters right here to turn it on.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, also on the side of the garage one more time.
Okay. I'm going to turn this off. We'll pick it back up there. Okay, so we're back outside.
Okay, this is a pipe right here that goes to, that supplies water to the sprinkler system, and it has a broken shutoff handle, and it's leaking. So I did note that. I know that's probably not homeowner responsibility, but it's probably HOA responsibility. So I thought maybe since it's near your structure, you might want to know about it.
And then there's a turnoff there. Is that the turnoff for the house? Is that the main turnoff?
There's one for all 3 units, but yours is the one that has the hose bib.
Oh, so
one more north one.
Okay, so the one furthest to the left is the, and that has a turn off for this?
Yeah, it has a shut off valve right there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there's the turn off. So that's the water turn off for the house.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
All right, so we're in the living room.
Okay, so here in your fireplace, since you have a gas line that goes into your fireplace, there's a damper that opens and closes to the chimney, okay?
Right.
And there's a lever here that opens and closes to the chimney. But since you have a gas line that goes into your fireplace, that damper is not allowed to close completely. It's required to stay open just
and you have to put the little C-clamp thing on it?
Yes, it's missing a little C-clamp that prevents that from closing completely. It's a $4 part, but it is a code requirement. So
okay, so that's fine.
That's what's missing here.
Okay, and everything as far as you could tell from the way they put this up?
Yeah, everything's working. The inserts are good. The chimney goes all the way up to the attic. Gas valve shuts off, on and off. It operates fine.
Okay, and then so while we're in here, how's the kitchen? I suppose that would be the other thing.
Yeah, everything functions with the kitchen. GFCI protected outlets trip and reset. There's no leaks underneath any of the sink. The dishwasher operates and drains properly. Oven, range, all 6 burners ignite and operate properly, as well as the oven.
Okay.
Vent fan exhaust to the exterior. No cracked tiles or anything like that.
Okay, so basically in great shape.
Yeah, nothing wrong there.
So anything else on this level that you have?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna go upstairs next. So now we've headed upstairs. Master bedroom, all right.
The only thing I noted with the master bedroom is there's some nicks in the wood flooring here, so I wanted you to know that I saw that.
You know, I saw that yesterday. I was trying to figure out what it was, and I realized that they probably had a bed, and in the center of the bed was the post.
The frame.
And so this is probably from, well, past getting busy.
And with the wood floor, anytime you sit on it, it moves too. But
well, and it scratches over to one side. They probably moved the bed and then moved it back. I bet that's what that's
so I call it damage. I call it damaged wood in the center of the room is what I worded it.
Okay. And everything's fine with like the rock wall and.
Yeah, and one thing I really check. I want to know that I really tried to check and stuff like that. Is I put the shower head against that window seal and made sure that it was watertight. I wanted to make sure there was no water exiting that window onto the.
And there was no problem, as you could tell. And I think this is.
I don't like when windows are below the water line, so.
Okay, but that was fine. I think this is brilliant. That's so much light in here. It's really nice. Okay, but that was good. And hot water, cold water, there was no problem. Water pressure was okay.
Yeah, you're right at 80 psi, which is in the report as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else on this level?
Not in this room.
Turn off those
We're gonna go
lights.
to the upstairs north bathroom.
Okay. So we'll cross the hall to the smaller of the bedrooms.
Okay, this is what I noted in here. If you can see this window right here, you'll see on the top of this window right here that this gasket is starting to raise up and become exposed into your line of sight.
Okay.
These windows are notorious for that. What that is basically the seal has been breached. The argon gas between the 2 panes of glass has escaped, and now heat has allowed that rubber gasket to just stretch and
Go
expand.
up a little bit? Okay.
The only way to fix it is to actually replace it with another sealed cartridge. But it is something that, since you're in a dry climate, you won't see condensation very frequently, but because it's in a bathroom, you may. So
basically someday, being on the north side, you're not getting a lot of light through this, so it's not doing much. But at some point, it'd be good to pop out that second pane and have somebody replace that with
it's another sealed cartridge. They actually replace this top half of the window with another sealed cartridge.
Okay.
And the way they do it, it's not invasive. They don't damage the stucco. They don't damage the drywall. It's a real clean in and out process.
Okay.
There's a company in Palm Springs called Palace Glass that does a lot of work for an agent that does a lot of work in Sun City, Palm Desert, that have like 3,000 houses that have these kind of windows. So
I'm wondering, I know that there's the 10-year thing in California.
yeah, that's what I mean. It might be covered under
And
that,
it might
so
be covered there.
The builder.
Okay, so
something's going to get worse with time. It'll just get higher and higher, and it's about a 3/4 inch gasket. So I mean, eventually you'll see the whole thing.
Okay, it'll just crawl
It'll just
up
be
there.
an eyesore.
Okay.
And then the other thing I noted is I counted the countertop. It can be called a sink too, but it's not secured to the cabinet.
Shame. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense.
And then the last thing I have is in the downstairs bathroom.
Okay. Downstairs bathroom. Okay.
Okay, you got to come in.
Oh. Okay.
When I run the shower and I put it up against this shower wall right here, the bottom of this enclosure right here is not sealed, so water exits the shower and puddles up right here.
So on the inside, you need to strip away the clear seal caulk and put
and put on both sides of the glass. Clear silicone on the base of both sides of the glass.
Funny thing was, I did that for a cellar because we ran into it. There was so much. I did it before we did, the full sale of it.
And that's all I have for you guys. That's a report summary in a nutshell.
Okay, and then you're going to send that to them. Well, you send it to me
that
or
report
to
in PDF format file. They'll have
Okay.
it by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, if not later on tonight, with all my contact information.
Okay, if I didn't send you their email, I'll get it to you. Okay, perfect. And then they can contact you if they have any questions.
Yeah, all my
right?
contact information on the signature, my email.
Okay, great. Thanks, Casey.
All right.
Appreciate it. Okay, one more thing. Attic item. What was that?
One more thing is your furnace is located in the attic, and when I was upstairs in the attic, there is some stains present on the plywood base that's underneath your furnace that shows that there might have been a past or present condensation dripping onto the wood base under there on the attic.
Okay. Was it wet currently, or
No,
is it
it's
dry
not wet,
now?
but I didn't run it. It's not mildew, or it's not humid enough.
Well, and the air
to produce a lot of
conditioning's been
condensation.
running in here at this point, so if it's not wet at this point, is it likely?
Well, I don't want to say that only because when
Okay.
August comes and it gets really, really humid and the dew point changes, it does condensate a lot more than today's weather.
So they should probably have it serviced
Yeah,
to make
that's
sure.
always recommended upon taking occupancy. But also, normally what they do is they put a catch pan underneath that coil, and there is no catch pan, so that's why it's dripping right onto the wood. Sometimes they put a catch pan underneath that coil so that it drips inside.
Is that something that could be added
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point? Okay, so if they
Not
want to,
like
that would be.
demo or anything.
Okay, well, that's
Okay.
great. All right. Well,
That's the last
now
thing.
we'll say
I
thank
didn't
you.
think we'd go in the attic and film that, so I forgot to mention it.
Okay, perfect, Casey. Thank you.
Okay.